Welcome back, my YouTube family. In today's video, I will be reviewing, unboxing, and doing a comparison between my old home theater speakers, which was the RTi series, or RTi8, the CSi, and then the RTi4s, I believe that was. I had 7 base layer speakers, and I'm upgrading to the Emotiva C2 Plus, the T2 Plus, and then also for the B1 Pluses. They both, the T2s and the B1s, have gotten remarkable reviews. Now, as far as the center channel, there's some back and forth with that, but majority of people think that it's a great speaker. And so that's what I went with after doing so much research. I've been wanting to do this for 3 years because my Polk audios are great when I watch movies, but when it comes to listening to music, they just fall short. And so hopefully these will serve dual purposes. This video, I'll be doing an unboxing, a comparison, physical comparison between my old speakers versus the new speakers, and then also giving you some tips and suggestions as far as when you're setting up new speakers. But because in a home theater, you just can't replace the speakers. You actually have to do some things, and then considering that they're different heights, different, things of that nature, pretty sure I'm gonna have to move some brackets around and even install some new brackets. So yeah, stick around and let's get right into it. I can say that this speaker was packaged very nicely. It was in double boxes. It had plenty of foam. It had nice cloth over it. But despite all of that, UPS is just rough. Delivery companies in general. So no worries. I'll take care of this, but definitely going to get a replacement piece from the manufacturer. These spikes are used to keep the energy from the speaker from transferring down onto the floor, which causes less vibrations. And I always keep crazy glue. Just a household item to keep. Crazy glue works for a lot of things. I don't have any accelerator, but I'm just going to put it together, hold it for a little while, then put a little piece of electrical black tape on it to keep it together. First impression is that these things are really big. They're massive, but I knew that. I knew that going into, so I like. So looking at the two speakers side by side, obvious difference. The Emotiva is a 3-way speaker versus the Polk is a 2-way speaker. Emotiva have 8-inch woofers and the Polk have 6.5-inch woofers. I love the vinyl leathery look, but I also love the wood grain. The Polks actually had real wood veneer, and so that was always a pleasant thing to look at. The Polks actually looks really nice. I love the outriggers on the feet versus just regular going down with the Emotivas. One of the biggest differences is that the amount of wall space you need for the T2s versus the RT8s. Polk had this power port where the air was dispersed from the back sideways, so you can put the speakers actually closer to the wall. And then finally, you have dual binding posts, so if you want to bi-amp, then both speakers offer that feature. The grill is a simple design. It's very thin. I'm pretty sure that they designed this where the grill is not going to get in the way of any sound coming out the speaker. It is magnetic, so it just snaps on, versus the Polk where it has the metal little pegs and then the grommets on the grill. I do prefer that design better because there's less likelihood of you knocking off that grill. But all in all, the T2 is just a fatter, meatier speaker, but I do love the aesthetics of the Polk as well. So the C2 Plus is a 3-channel speaker versus the CSi5 being a 2-channel speaker. Now the Polk was no slouch as a center speaker. Like I say, I never really had any problems with dialogue. When I first got the Polk, I thought that this speaker was huge. Like it was huge, but the C2 Plus, yeesh, this is a big speaker. Again, you have where you can biamp both speakers. Again, that Polk Audio has that patented port that goes out the back where you can put it to the wall, and then plus it has this little thing where you can set the angle right. So aesthetically wise, I mean, it's a matter of taste, matter of choice. Both the Polk and the Emotiva Surround speakers are 2-channel. You can see the size comparison. The B1 Plus is much smaller. Now, the Polk offers a wall mount option, where you can see there with the hole, versus the B1 Plus, there's no wall mount option. I thought that was a little weird, but then it makes sense because the B1 Pluses need to be off the wall because they, have the rear ported, and if you put them too close to the wall, then you are kind of like messing up the dynamics of your speaker. So they need to come off the wall some. So by them being smaller, it's actually a plus for me because that way I can mount them on a bracket and actually pull them away from the wall some, and they still won't stick out so far. All in all, the Polks have served me well. Aesthetically, I don't think one is better than the other because, again, it's a matter of taste. But, yeah, I'm really excited about not only being able to enjoy a great movie experience, but also a music experience. And that's where the Emotiva speaker should shine. But first, I'm going to have to raise up my screen because, as you can see, the C2 Plus is a little taller than the previous speaker. I do have bay windows behind the screen, so I'm able to slide the center speaker up under the screen, and then it's on a old piano stand that's cushioned, so that's good. And then I'm just using a regular velvet and curtain rods for my masking. In my opinion, it is very important to get your tweeter heights for all of your bass speakers at the same height. Even the old speakers were kind of like at the same height, which we call ear height. And so, before just slapping up a bracket and putting your speaker on the wall, you want to make sure that your front speakers and your side surrounds, your rear surrounds, all of the brackets all of the brackets are at the same height, but at a specific height where it will allow the tweeters to be at the same height as the front mains. I would highly recommend that you put your wall bracket in a stud or in solid wood. And so where my rear right speaker needed to be, there was no stud. And so what I just used this shelf here and attach the shelf between the studs. That way it allowed me to put my bracket right where I need it to be. So I'm just moving this up, the difference between the old speaker and the new speaker, making sure everything is level, and then remount the brackets that I'll be using for all 4 surrounds. This particular wall bracket, very affordable in my opinion, allows for a multitude of adjustments. You can swivel left to right, you can tilt up and down, and then you can also adjust the speaker left and right by, I believe, about an inch and a half worth of play, so you can really tune in where you need your speakers to be. I love the brackets. They hold these B1 pluses just fine. I learned from my past mistakes I will not screw into the speakers, so I'm just making sure that my bracket is tight and they will just sit there. And again, tweeters are at the exact height as the main. In this segment, I got the new speaker on the left, the old speaker on the right, playing a couple of YouTube videos that play music on the left speaker than the right speaker, just to get a quick comparison of those. I'll be quiet and let you hear, but you probably won't hear what I'm hearing. But anyway, I'll let you listen.
Warning, this video contains flashes and moving images.
More than anything, I wanted those that maybe stumbled across this video to see that I actually did a side-by-side comparison, and I can tell you that automatically the T2 is just shiny. The T2s are so huge, they probably don't even really need a toe in, but I am towing them in, and I want to make sure that the same angle is on the left and on the right. That way when I'm sitting in the main listening position, even without a center speaker, I should get an imaging dead smack in the middle of the screen. If not, if you don't do it right, then it could be heavy on the left or heavy on the right. So it's important to get that toe correct. With my room, I'm blessed to have a dedicated home theater room, first of all, but second of all, a room where I can have my speakers symmetrical. So I'm making sure that the distance from the wall to the surrounds are the same on the left side and the right side. The same thing with the rears. I want to make sure that they're symmetrical. So my ceiling speakers, my bass speakers, and my seat in the middle, everything is symmetrical, so I get a nice, smooth, even, rounded sound field. Most quality speakers will have binding posts that allow for banana clips, or you can unscrew them and stick the speaker wire in and secure it that way. But I use banana clips because I think that they're just convenient. Most of the time it's just me in the home theater. I don't know if it's too dark for the rest of the family, but most of the time it's just me. So I make sure that the main listening position, that is the middle seat, is optimized to receive the sound. Most modern day AVRs have what's called room correction built into them, where they send out a series of signals and then adjust your speaker EQ curves based upon a flat response or a natural response, or to match the front speaker responses. But I had to take all of that stuff out if I wanted to listen to some demos, so I put it in through mode and throw in a couple of my go-to Dolby Atmos demos. I understand that you are not going to be able to hear what I hear with audio recorded with an iPhone, but it was just for demonstration purposes. Here I am actually setting up the room with the built-in room calibration with my current AVR, which is wonderful in my opinion. It's the IMHO 83070. And it does everything. It sets the height, the distance, the EQ curves, sets the angles, even the angles of the speakers. And so what this does is that it really locks in those speakers to be specific to your room, the objects in your room, how far away the walls are, the acoustic. It takes in accountability for all those things and set your speakers up so they can sound their best. Finally, since I had to move my screen, I had to recalibrate my screen, set the focus and things of that nature. So yeah, and that is the whole process. So final thoughts, was it worth it? Absolutely. These speakers are freaking amazing. I mean, yeesh. I thought that it would be, you know, an upgrade, but I didn't know it would just blow me away like that. Like, these things are bananas. Like, they bananas. The T2s are, as far as the bass, I look at this subwoofer. This is an 18-inch subwoofer, right? Then I have bass shakers under each one of these seats. So I am a bass addict. So I would say that the bass is tight and right, but nothing. You still need a subwoofer, even with these, in my opinion. Like I'm not going to be listening to these without subwoofers. The B1s are just crystal clear, and the center channel. I did, even though my room is super small, like I only have number 3 seats, there is a difference between sitting either to the left or the right of the main listening position. It's there. Like when I'm in the middle, it's sweet, dead on, absolutely beautiful. There is the speaker calls attention to itself, if that makes sense. So the C2, I know where it's at. Sometimes I'm listening or I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, that's coming out the center speaker. Where as far as the Polks, the CS5, it came out the screen. So that's so weird. Like even though the speaker is down, whenever I listen to movies or wherever I watch movies, the sound always came out of the screen. Majority of the time, the sound is coming out of the screen with this particular speaker, but there are some times that it's here. Like it's like definitely a speaker here. The imaging on the T2s, it's stuff going all, it's crazy. Like the imaging is dead, smack solid, but yet the sound field, I can hear where somebody pan here or pan here, and you can, so these image very well. Just no complaints about the B1s. I actually hooked them up to just a regular little 2-channel amp that I had to play some music out of them. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The speakers themselves mesh well with the micas that I have for my ceiling height speakers. These things are cheap speakers, but in my opinion, it's just not worth upgrading to timbre match the rest of these 7-layer speakers to get height effect, because it's just not, in my opinion, worth it. So all in all, I would say the upgrade was well worth it. I think I went to bed at like 4 a.m. because I was just in here listening to music. Listening to music in my home theater. I'm so excited about that. So I appreciate you all sticking around for this video. I will be doing a tour of the whole setup here, how I got things ran, my input, my controls, all that type of stuff. So be looking out for that video. And if you like this video, then please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment section if I left anything out or if there's something else that you want to know about. And then also, make sure you hit that bell if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. And if you haven't subscribed, then subscribe to the channel. As always, I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching. Hey.